Hi, my name is Krista Oscapinski. This is my Boros Obosh Midrange deck. Plays a lot around Blink. I really enjoy it. Currently, I am 18-0 with it, and I've been playing it for the past like 3.5 months, and it's been really awesome. So I figured I'd do a deck tech for you guys. So currently, I am playing 24 lands in total, 3 basic mountains, 4 basic plains. Lots of basics in this deck. I find that if we have like a lot of utilities, it kind of gets a little muddy with Blood Moon, so that's why we're doing 4 plains, 3 basic mountains. A lot of times I wanted to minimize the life that I'm taking as well, so that's why the basics are also really nice. Then we also run 2 Den of the Bugbears. Sometimes you don't have cards in your hand, so being able to get in with Den of the Bugbear and get that Goblin token in there has been really nice. Then 4 Sacred Foundries. It's nice that we are a 2-color deck, so we're not too stressed on mana, but can fetch for the duels when we need them with Blood Moon. Then 4 Marsh Flats, 4 Arid Mesas. The white fetches are important so you can fetch around Blood Moon so you don't lock yourself out. So definitely like fetching for plains early is really helpful when you have like a Blood Moon in hand or you think that you will be able to play Blood Moon soon. So we're running 24 lands in total here. And then let's move on. So playing 2 Giver of Runes, basically protecting our like evoke creatures and just kind of like our ephemerate combo in general has been really nice. They have a lot of utility. I really like them. You can also search for them off of our Ranger Captain. So 4 copies of Ephemerate. Ephemerate in this deck hits so many targets. It hits our Furies, it hits our Solitudes, it hits our Seasoned Pyromancers. There's a lot for it to hit. Great card, definitely need to be running 4 of them. Removals, obviously really important. We're running a split of March of Otherworldly Light and 1 Prismatic Ending. The reason for this split is a lot of times you find maybe you're holding up a Solitude for your opponent's turn. So having things that can interact at instant speed on your opponent's turn has been really helpful. But the 1 Prismatic Ending, 3 Otherworldly Light split has been awesome. So let's go into the white 3 drops. We are running 2 Ranger Captain. His silence ability has been really awesome. Good against things like the Storm decks, good against the Cascade decks a lot of the times. Tutoring up our 1-drops like Giver, Ragavan have been really awesome. We have some sideboard 1-drop creatures as well that he tutors up, so also helps with those matchups post-board game. Then we are going to our 5-drop. We run 4 Solitudes. Solitude has been really great, especially with all the Murktides running around. You do give your opponent a lot of life off the Murktides, however, it has been really helpful in those matchups. Amulet Titan matchups, getting rid of things in like the 4-color deck has been really awesome. So, ephemerating this guy, or my other favorite card, the Fable of the Narrow Breaker, being able to basically kiki-jiki it has been pretty ridiculous. So that's actually it for the white drops in our main deck. Moving into the red, these are probably the most fun things in the deck. We are running 4 Ragavans. Feels pretty good. Just a good 1-drop creature that helps ramp you. Being able to play a turn 3 Blood Moon has been, or sorry, not a turn 3, a turn like 2 Blood Moon or so has been really important. That has locked a lot of my opponents out of their games. It's been kind of ridiculous. But just being able to like fetch him out too has been really awesome. Especially in a deck where you do get to like cast those like 5-drop creatures, you do want to have that acceleration, or like with making the treasure tokens is awesome. Next we are running 2 Lightning Bolt. Bolt is pretty self-explanatory, just having some damage to the face can be really helpful. We are, again, in Obosh deck, so being able to bolt somebody to the face for 6 or take care of a bigger creature, really, really nice. Next is one of my favorite cards, haven't been able to play it in a while, but fits perfectly in this deck. Being able to tutor out a Grim Lavamancer for, you know, creatures that are maybe a little more troublesome, especially in the hammer matchups. So being able to like clear their board of their like low toughness creatures has been really nice. And when Obosh comes out, doubles the damage that he deals, so he deals 4 damage every time he targets the face when Obosh is out, which has been awesome, especially if there is like a stone wall and big creatures to block what you're doing. And then the last of the 1-drops has been a special kind of tech card for me. So playing March of Reckless Joy from the new Kamigawa set. It's really great, especially against control players. I really like playing it on their turn. They can counter it if they want, but then I have the ability to go then on my next turn and play whatever I want to play for the most part. But if it does go through, it's really nice, especially if there is an elemental or an evoke creature. I can actually pitch something from my hand and play it from exile on that turn. So that's been really, really great. Just the card advantage has been awesome. The next, of course, we are playing 3 main deck Blood Moon. A lot of mana bases right now are very, very greedy. So it actually has locked opponents out of games a lot of the times, and especially in the control matchups, just having those people, you know, not have access to good mana. Even in like the Murktide matchups, I found it to be very, very effective. You know, just they're not always fetching out those blue sources, or they don't have a basic land right away. You know, that's really, really important, so that's been really good. And then probably my actual favorite card of the deck, we are playing 3 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Now this card is really, really good. Not only does it give us a Ragavan kind of effect with the tokens, when the token attacks, you create a treasure token, and that is an attack trigger, so sometimes that's important for when you have like a Solitude in hand and you need that extra treasure to then get in and then get rid of their blockers. So that's been awesome. Also does like a Seasoned Pyromancer effect where you can discard cards to draw 2 cards or something like that. And then the flip side is basically Kiki Jiki, and I don't know if you've ever felt the experience of being able to copy a Fury, but it is pretty disgusting. Attacking in for a hasty for 6 and your regular Fury as well. This also makes it so the Elementals triggers also go off, because it is entering the battlefield, so you get another Fury trigger, or a Solitude trigger, or Seasoned Pyromancer trigger. Draw 2, discard 2. Or, sorry, discard 2, draw 2. So this card has been really instrumental, and I really, really enjoy it. It's almost like having another Ephemerate effect, having another Seasoned Pyromancer effect, and having another like Ragavan ramp effect, so it's extremely, extremely important in this deck. Next we are playing 4 Seasoned Pyromancers. Card is very good. Card with Ephemerate has been amazing, just getting that advantage, because a lot of times you don't always have that card advantage in red decks, or in like these Boros decks, so that's been really, really awesome. Sometimes having the tokens can be really important, having these blockers. So that's been really great. Being able to exile, make tokens, also pretty awesome. And then the last that we have for the main deck, 3 Furies. We're going with 4 Solitudes over 3 Furies right now, mostly because of the impact of Solitude. Right now we do have a lot of big creatures, so I think Solitude is a little more impactful. So 4 Solitude, 3 Fury has been a great split. So I've been playing the deck about 2.5 to 3-ish months right now. This is basically the only deck that I've been playing. I have access to other decks right now, like Murktide, Rhinos, most tier 1 decks, but honestly this has been really doing and performing the best. This has just felt the best. It's been just really impressing me. So about 3-ish months. Okay, so this is our sideboard for the Boros Obosh deck. So of course you need an Obosh, so that means everything in our deck is odd mana cost. So what we have for things like the hammer matchup or affinity, we need some artifact hate. We're actually going to be having this Wear and Tear. Wear and Tear is a great card for dealing with the artifacts and also dealing with things like Saga. Being able to fuse has been really awesome. This card has also been pretty amazing. It's called Dragar Hedgemage. A lot of people aren't familiar with the card, but basically since we are playing lots of plains, lots of mountains, we are able to pick if we have 2 plains and 2 mountains out at the same time, we are able to pick an enchantment and an artifact to destroy. Being able to flicker that with our flicker effects in the deck is really, really great. It pretty much hoses these artifact or enchantment based decks. So this card has been pretty key. Next we are running a Giant Killer and the Burton Forge Tenders. These are great for our 1 mana slots. They can be gotten with our Ranger Captains. So things in like the Murktide decks to kill the bigger creature, like the Murktides and like Titans. This has been really amazing to just be able to tutor this up. Burton Forge Tender, great for a lot of matchups, honestly. Good for the Murktide matchups with all their red 1-drops, really good in things like the Burn matchup. Even other matchups like anything where they have a lot of these like little red 1-drops. So anything like with Darcy or Ragavan, those are all still pretty popular cards. So this card comes in quite a lot. Again, very tutorable. It's been great. Deafening Silence. So this is pretty good against like the Storm matchup or against these Cascade decks. I even bring it in sometimes against like blue-white control just so I can kind of tax them a little bit on their counter spells. And that's been working out really great. We are playing a 4th Blood Moon. 4th Blood Moon's going in the sideboard. There are decks that still do get hosed by Blood Moon, so having that 4th in there, just being able to draw it more often has been really, really great. So these are going to be like your Tron matchup, your Saga matchups, anything like that. Pithing Needle right now is pretty instrumental in like the Yogg matchups, so having a Pithing Needle you really can't go wrong with in your sideboard. Definitely recommend using Pithing Needle in most sideboards right now. Then for our Graveyard Hate, we are doing a Relic and 2 Relic, 1 Grafdigger's Cage split. Now this has been really good against like the Murktide matchups. I'm not, obviously Grafdigger's Cage not so much for this one, but anything where people are trying to cast spells out of their graveyards or their libraries, I did want something like this, especially with like the like Rhino's Cascade deck. So this has been really great. I do like this split a lot. And when Blood Moon isn't enough, we do play 1 Obsidian Charmaw in the sideboard. This is great for destroying our Tron opponent, making them pretty sad, especially when we blink it and they don't have too much else to do. Not too much else you would really want to bring it in for unless your opponent's pretty heavily oppressive. Sometimes you do want to bring it up in like the like control matchups for like their man lands or something like that, because sometimes they can be a little hard to deal with. And just taxing them, because a lot of times they do want to use a lot of their lands. But again, this and the blink effect has been really, really great. You want to have lots of targets for your blink so they don't just sit in your hand. And then last we have like a Blossoming Calm. This is great from anything from like the Burn matchups, Prowess matchups, Storm, anything like that. When people are trying to Thoughtseize you, just having that hexproof has been really, really great. The life gain has been awesome. Having that rebound and not having to pay for it has been just amazing. I really like this card right now. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for it.
Awesome.
That's been our sideboard.